mfana.
Ngoja usilive kwanza. Mangu High School ameianzisha nimeona. Nikae mahali ni monitor kidogo. Nataka hii geography ianze kwanza, niende kwa nyumba. Unaendaje?
Quelqu'un d'autre pendant 15 km en si peu de temps.
Nani hajaingia na wanafunzi wako bwana? Si Karo building. Huyu, unaona huyu nani? Tumia huyu. Oh. Ina sometimes kina hang, lakini sometimes ina perfect. Huyu hajaingia na wanafunzi wanangoja.
Kwa karatasi complete in blocks so andika.
Complete in blocks uandika in small. Tijera some.
Bye, very good. Ingia tu alafu tufanye host. Good. Yes, sir. Nichelewa kutuma. Na kuacha na kuna zingine naye mwalimu uko ready sheet hauko. Ndio nani akirekodi hizo za kulipa akasema nani Boge akasema wakina Kirudia wanasema walikuwa by 8. So teachers were there, si eti ilikuwa shida eti ni mtu hakutaka.
Kwani nani alikuwa anasema?
Nguru, unajua Nguru ndio mlipana lakini zimeandikwa zote. Si ndio hii nilipeana.
Kwani alikuwa Nguru analeta shida?
Yeye anahesabu time yenye mmefunza.
Alikuwa ananimesha sasa.
Alikuwa si yeye anauliza are they to be paid for bunu kuonyesha hapo. Mimi kaandika zilifunzwa.
Paka chote mpaka ndio.
Nilipeana. Naona nilipeana. Niliambiwa Bogi it was extended, so biology cannot be physics can huyo ni Kiswahili na ukasema hapa teachers were facilitated with data bundles and my first tip struggle with this unstable school wifi. This causes delays and lakini nilikuwa namwambia ile si extended.
Hata yeye wakati asema kulipigia ni yeye wakati alikuwa kwa hiyo nini nikifunza ndani.
Hata nani pia kali extend. Nani?
Na Onyango kwani yeye
si Onyango, Adika.
Niona Onyango.
Hapana. Calvins ni Onyango. Mwana Ochengo. Calvins huyo si huyo yeye pia alikuja late lakini alifunza. Sio eti nini. Mimi nimewapea wenyewe akiona wenye watanini but nimewapea venyewe. Nani amekwama? Belti. Hii vitu inanikula credit kumbe ako host. Lakini Kanyiri si yako ready. Si ni watoto ndio hapo. Hii ni geography. Kianza na natoka sasa.
Lakini yeye anatumia mic.
Bali nadhani kuna watu kwa nini.
Basi naona
Make host.
Hello, students.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Okay. We'll be continuing with our study on fieldwork. We had started so well, and we had reached the procedures of a fieldwork. Now, very fast, which are the types of fieldworks? Which are the types of fieldwork? Michael, Waithaka. Dennis Gitonga.
Field excursion.
Types of fieldwork. Yes. Which are the types? Are you getting me?
Yes.
Yes. There are three types. Which ones are they?
Field excursion.
Field?
Excursion.
Correct.
Field
The
study.
next one? Field study, correct. The last one?
Field research.
Field research. Then we went through the significance or benefits or importance of studying field work, or of field work rather. And there were quite a number. Somebody to give me just two. Significance, importance, or benefits of field work. Just two, because we are just one.
Kama sasa wako 23 peke yao. From 12 mvana. Hata kuna wakati wanafika kama chemical kwanza kama yani ndio tupo nje karibu 200.
Kuna wakati wanakujaga wote 300.
Hakuna na hawajawahi fika hata wana.
Elisha.
20 next.
Elisha. Significance of field work.
Natoka sasa nipumzike bwana.
Lewis. Inyoa.
It helps in removing class monotony.
That's right. Cars. You can hide something big in the murk of the Thames, and that spells big trouble. If the hydrographic department and it is very important that we remove it quickly.
Are you there? Unanisikia lakini? Unanisikia? Yes. Yes. Procedure. Field work procedure. We talked of identifying the topic, then the area of study, statement of objectives, we tried that with examples, formulation of hypothesis, we did it. Then we left at preparation of field study. Preparation of field study. Under preparation, we touched seeking permission. Seeking permission from who and why do we seek permission to go for field study? We found out that we are going to seek permission both from school as students, from the administration to allow us go to whatever area. Then if we are going to a place where people are found, not a wild place for the field study, then we'll also seek their permission. Today, we are starting with the conducting reconnaissance. That is our second preparation for the field study, conducting reconnaissance or pre-visit, or it is also called familiarization tour. You go out to familiarize yourself with the area and the features in the area. So we are on the second one under preparation of field study. We familiarize the area, as I said, and the people, if they are there, but in a wild place, on a mountain that is not reserved, then we don't need to ask permission from where we are going to. But areas where we find people, we'll always ask for permission. Then, another significance of reconnaissance to determine the appropriate route to take during or to follow during the actual field study. There could be several routes to be followed. Distance could be differing. The nature of the roads could be differing. So we must decide on which route is appropriate for us during that time. Another reason why we go for pre-visits to help decide on the appropriate method of data collection, to enable us decide on appropriate data. for data collection. That is, there are areas where you may not really need interview. And you may indeed want to go for direct observation. So if you go for interview, you'll not collect the real information that you needed. So you must be very, very keen on deciding on the type of data collection. Another one, there are quite a number, to help in identifying the appropriate equipment or instruments to be used during the study. Our field study covers very many areas. It's so varied. All the topics that we've done or we are continuing to do or revise can make themes or topics of our field study. Therefore, they'll differ in the equipment or instruments to be gathered for that study. If we are going for rocks, we love to look for some hammers, geological hammer. We look for bags to put the samples. If we are going to Lake Bogoria or some salty sea somewhere, we may have some bottles to keep that water. So it will really vary on whatever topic we've chosen. Another one, to be able to gather general information and relevant documents from officials. Which officials are these? To be able to gather general information and relevant documents from officials. For instance, if we were to go to Olkaria, geothermal power station in Kenya, the largest of course. As we go for pre-visit, a few people would go, not everybody, yes, but they'll give us some relevant documents to give us a clue on how they are working there, what they are putting in the national grid from other stations. So such are the documents that I'm talking about there. Then the next one, I told you initially, the reasons for reconnaissance are very many. It helps in assessing the suitability of the area intended for the study. Helps in assessing the suitability of the area intended for the study. There are many areas for any given topic. Many areas for any topic. If it is a lake, we have Lake Naivasha, we have Victoria, we have several lakes outside Kenya, we have Tanganyika. If we would go there, it's still a lake. But now we must know exactly which area, which region do we want to go for the field study. After doing that, we'll be able to tell whether it is suitable or we change our area of study. The next one.
Because of water. Yeah,
Tuko pamoja?
Yes.
Tuko pamoja? Sawa sawa. The next one helps in identifying the problems that are likely to be experienced in such areas. We take a pre-visit to ensure that where we are going, we can handle the problems that are there. If it is a rainy area, obviously we'd look for gumboots, we'd look for umbrellas, we'd look for jackets to be safe, and any other problem. If it is mountainous, we'll see how we would meander and move on those slippery rocks. So it is very, very necessary to know the problems that one might encounter during the field study. If not possible, it's too much, then you change to a different area. It makes it possible to assess the cost of study. Makes it possible to assess the cost of study and plan for it adequately. Finances sometimes are very, very limited. So if one does not plan properly, you may have a big problem. I remember sometimes back, that was around 03, we went to Bogoria. We did not plan well with our old bus. Fuel was not enough. So on our way before Marigat, there we were on the road with the bus. We could not move. Fuel ilikuwa imeisha. So it is very good to plan for the entire cost of the trip. Munanisikia? Munanisikia ni watu?
Yes.
Tumreplay mwalimu, mbona unacheka?
Yes.
That's very rude.
Nini si tunamsikia? Mimi niko mute.
Ah, we uko mute now. Uongo. Uongo, I have unmuted you. Okay, the next one. Next one. It helps in the statement. Munacheka. Reconnaissance going before the actual trip would also help us to make good objectives and formulate hypotheses. We can adjust on our objectives depending on what we've seen during the reconnaissance. So it is very, very important to go for pre-visit or reconnaissance. Another one, it helps in the general planning, and preparation of work schedule. You've gone to the place, you've seen it, so you are able to know what you'll be doing at whatever time. It will enable you plan so well because work schedule is just a timetable of the activities that will be done during the field study. So those are the many, many points or many reasons or many benefits of pre-visit or reconnaissance. And please ensure you know the spelling of reconnaissance. I'm on the third one. We started preparation for fieldwork. We started with seeking permission, reconnaissance. I'm on the third one now. The third one is holding discussions in class. Why is it necessary? Once we are through with the pre-visit, we come to class and discuss on this very area of study. It is very, very useful. Why? It will help us identify the data collection method. You've gone, you've come back, you can now decide because you've seen what the area holds for you, the features and everything that you'll be looking for. Therefore, it is going to help in identification of data collection method that is needed, since there are very many methods. So you go for the appropriate one. Then still, it enables one to check on the stated objectives and formulated hypotheses. And you'll get whether they are suitable or you are going to adjust accordingly. Because you have gone for pre-visit, you've seen the area, you've known what you really need. So it will help you adjust on the hypothesis and objectives to be stated. It can still make us have the so-called methods of data recording. Data collection, data recording. We will discuss in a class what we will have to record our information. That is the third one. I'm going to the fourth one. The fourth one. Remember, we are on our preparation of field study. Preparation of our field study.
Toti.
Enda huko.
Ukwama ito na nekala si kwa hata nataka kumnyakania simu. Tu kwa.
Oi. Huyu ni relative wa nani? Gitonga, ni wako?
Hapana, si mimi.
Relative wa nani ni, wacha nione. Not Nduati, kinywa no. Ni wa nani huyo? Amekimia sawa. We move on with our fourth one. I've told you we are still on preparation for the field study. We have quite a number of points under that. In fact, there are 9. I'm on the fourth one. Preparation of a questionnaire. Preparation of a questionnaire. What is a questionnaire in your thinking, layman's language? When you hear of a questionnaire, what comes into mind? Waidaka? Mwendwa?
3 questions.
James Jeffers?
A list with questions to ask people.
Yes, in the field. Thank you. It's a list of questions that are supposed to be asked in the field. We have 2 different types of questionnaires. Which ones are they? Alan? Dati?
Yes.
Types of questionnaires. Yani umesahau? Edwin, Sarah.
Open-ended questionnaires and closed-ended questionnaires.
Closed-ended is as another name. Which is that common name?
Rigid.
Rigid, thank you. Hamjakaa nyumbani sana. Rigid, we have open-ended and rigid questionnaires. Very, very good. So as we move on with our preparation of questionnaires, as the first person had given us is a list of questions that are expected to be asked while in the field. Open-ended. Open-ended, what I can talk about such questions, open-ended. They're also called personal interview questionnaires. Personal interview questionnaires for open-ended. Questions are not limited. The respondents can give answers beyond the scope, beyond the area in question. That is one fact about the open-ended one. Then they are commonly used in interview technique. Finally, the answers given under open-ended may prompt other questions which were not initially been written down. So that is for open-ended. They are not limited. They'll go beyond the scope many times. Rigid, just the way that word is, the meaning of rigid, not allowing more. So they are very specific. They'll give room. In fact, answers have been provided within the question. They'll leave room for yes, no, true, false. You just tick or you circle the correct answer. These ones you cannot move away from the actual questions. That is the rigid questionnaires. Then, what do we consider when preparing a questionnaire? Please remind yourselves or put down what we consider when we are preparing questionnaires. They must be short, simple, and straightforward. Questionnaires must be short, simple, and straightforward questions. Two, the information being sought should not upset the respondent or respondent. Information that is needed or being sought should not upset the respondent. If they are upset, then obviously they can turn wild or hostile. And finally, they'll not give the correct or accurate information. Three, something that must be considered as we prepare questionnaire. The questions should be arranged systematically and in a logical sequence. Questions must be arranged systematically and in a logical sequence. I.e., if you go to a place, you'll start by asking the name of a person, age, maybe marital status, educational level. Then you move to the work experience or profession. You cannot start with what is your profession before knowing the name of such a person. You must start from simple as you go to the complex questions. Very, very important. Another thing that should be borne in mind, the questions should be relevant to the field study. You don't deviate just to the point. It should be relevant to the field study on the topic that is being carried on. The last one, the questions should be objective and not biased. Questions asked in a questionnaire should be objective but not biased. So those are the things we need to consider as we put down in our questionnaires. Number 5 of preparation of the field study. Remember, we started by the so-called seeking permission. After that, we went for reconnaissance. 3 was holding discussions in class. 4, preparation of the questionnaire. And now we are on the 5th one, dividing the students or dividing the participants into groups. Why do we need to divide the participants into smaller groups if they were a larger group? Like the Form 4s, Geographers, you are 119. If we were to go to a place, all of us, the 119, would be congested. We would not do much. We will not be orderly. So it is very important to avoid overcrowding or congestion in some areas where we could go for field study. And it also creates order. Some areas are also large, like when we are talking about field study along a river, Rivers are too long from the source to the mouth. Even if it is just the youthful stage alone, it is so large an area. So we divide ourselves into areas, into sections, so that we carry out good research or good study and come up with accurate data. That is one great reason why we should divide ourselves. Then the groupings also reduce now fatigue. If the area is large and you are just going a whole group the way you are, all of you, you will be fatigued. You'll be very tired. But if you divide yourself section per section, you'll not have the fatigue. So it reduces fatigue. Then lastly, these groups to be carefully constituted for efficiency. Like you know yourselves, some are so cheeky, some are just bad people by nature if they don't want to be good. So you cannot just put the so-called the jokers to be in a group. They'll not do any great job. So those are the things that we need to know under dividing into groups. Tuko pamoja? Mulienda?
Tuko.
Muko tu, Isaac? Okay.
Yes.
Muko tu?
Yes, Nico bad.
Sawa. The sixth one, Isaac.
Yes.
Now that you are there, we are still on preparation of field study. Which one was our number one?
Hey.
I'm on number 6 now, preparation of documents. Which one was our number one? I've even repeated several times. Yani, you are not learning. Isaac. Isaac.
Yes.
Number one ilikuwa gani? Mwendwa, umuokowe.
Reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance was number 2. Umejaribu lakini. Number 1. Mtu aseme?
Permission.
Yes, seeking permission. Wengine wako chonjo. Thank you. Bado tuko preparation number 6. Number 6, preparation of documents. Which documents are these that we need to prepare as we go out? All of us know of maps, most topographical maps. Tumekaa bila kuguza kuangalia topographical maps.
Yes.
Which one do you remember? Gikera? Gani? Tukiwa shuleni. Which one do you remember? Map of? Oyugis. Map of?
Dale.
Map of?
Homa
Bay, correct? Wengine bado wako sawa. Yani kuna wengine hawajaguza maps. Isaac.
Yes.
Wewe unakumbuka gani?
Kumbuka ni map.
Yes. Extract ya wapi?
Oh, Kijabe.
Kijabe. Good. So we must have such topographical maps with us. These ones will give us the localities, the counties or districts then of the places we'd like to visit. They'll also give us the routes. Muliona mabarabara kwa maps?
Yeah.
Which types were they?
All-weather bound, loose surface.
All-weather, road-bound surface. Mwingine aseme? Ingine? Tunajikumbusha. Dry weather, road. All-weather road, loose surface. Mnakumbuka hiyo? Yes. Sawa. So we'll get now the knowledge of the barabaras. That is under preparation of the documents that we need before we leave to these many places. Then still, we can have our sketch maps of the areas. We can have tables to be filled depending on the field study. If you are going to fill a table, you'll have to make it before. When you go to the field, it's just filling. Then the documents would also include they would show routes to be followed. I've mentioned that, important features, and even the obstacles, the problems that may be encountered while in the field can be seen right from the topographical maps. They'll give us all that. Remember, the contours would easily give us the nature of the terrain. If it is a hilly area, we would know by studying the contours. So those documents are very important. Number seven, reading through relevant books. This is what we call secondary data. Reading through relevant books. What do we read? Depending on the topic, the theme of our study, we need to go deep and get more information on that area, that field, that topic before we move out to the field. This may also lead us in deciding the method of data collection as we go to the book. The printed information will give us a clue on the decision to make on data collection method. The eighth one, please, if you have a question, if you have any reaction, please carry up your hand, ask. Before we go to the eighth one. The eighth one then. The eighth one, preparation of work schedule. Work schedule. I think both are allowed, the pronunciations. Both are allowed. Schedule. Yeah, first James. Ian. Robinson. Muhata. Ulirudi kulala?
Oh.
No? Yeah. We are on number 8, preparation of a work schedule. I mentioned work schedule is a timetable laying out the activities to be done step by step. And therefore, it has to have specific times for all the activities and the study. Work schedule. Work schedule, will draw one very soon. So why is it important to have a work schedule? Why do we need this plan as we move to the field? There are things that you know. Justin. No, Justin hayuko hapa. Cheke. John Mark. John Mark. Wacha kujificha.
Yes.
John Mark.
Yes.
Give us importance of work schedule. Why do we have this plan? Kwa nini? It's a plan. So, hata kama umesahau kila kitu, just have it in your mind. A plan for the field study. This time to this time, tutafanya.
It creates order and flow of the field during the field study.
Yes, to flow in order during the field study. Eugene.
Yes.
Eugene.
Yes.
Eugene. Eugene ana swali ama something. Sema.
Oh, no, I'm okay, teacher.
You okay? Kwani
Yes.
uliraise mkono kwa nini? Wewe mtu.
My mistake, sorry.
Aya, sawa sawa. Hii anajaongea. Hii ana another reason why work schedule is very important. Robinson, hujatujibu. Jaongea. Isaac.
Yes.
Sema tu. Why work schedule is very important.
So that to ensure that all the objectives during the field study are accounted for and that maybe you don't deteriorate from what you're supposed to do.
Yes, you don't go outside the scope. Very good. Mtu anaitwa Victor Kimani. Kimani. Victor. Victor.
Yes.
Go to Ambia another reason.
It shows how much time that will be required for the study.
Very good. The overall time for the entire study. Very good. Nani wengine hajaongea hapa? Muli. Vincent.
Yes.
Yes. Give us another one that has not been mentioned.
It can be used to show maybe the time for lunch and yeah.
So that the activities flow in their specific times.
Yes.
Sawa sawa. That is okay.
And we say that we can use the work schedule to identify specific tracks to follow during the study.
Rudia?
Can we say that work schedule can help in identifying specific parts of the field study?
Because, okay, since it started and it came to Africa, the Western countries came like help us with the testing kits, and then that's the time the patients are rising. Like now here, our president decided to like test a god. He decided to go to Malawi to get to be the Shaba.
Okay. The significance again, we've mentioned them. Going through them again. Nani huyo? Na watu wake? Aya. It ensures proper time management. Did somebody say that? Nilisikia hiyo? Reducing tendency of wasting time. Tulisema hiyo? No. So it ensures proper time management. It ensures proper time management. That means because you have the plan from this to this, you can now not waste time. You'll go to those various activities and do them. 2, it is a pointer of how much time will be required for the entire study. I think Victor has told us that. 3, ensures that one remains on the course of study. Somebody mentioned that. Then the last one, to ensure that no important areas will be inadequately covered. No important areas will be inadequately covered. No area will be forgotten because ulipanga vizuri. So those are the significance or importance of studying, of work schedule, Let's have a simple work schedule. A field study of a coffee farm. Andikeni hivyo, field study of a coffee farm. And I think we'll go for many questions on that topic. Field study of a coffee farm. Near our school. Near our school. So a sample one will be 7:30 a.m. Andika time, 7:30 a.m. Assemble equipment. Remember, it's near our school. So 7:30, we are assembling our equipment. 8 a.m. depart for the area of study. 8 a.m. depart for the area of study. 8:20 a.m. 8:20 a.m. arrive at the area of study. Remember, our area is coffee farm near by our school. Arrive at the area of study. Then the same time, report to the authority or in charge of the farm. Report to the authority or in charge of the farm or coffee farm. 9 a.m. embark on data collection. Embark on data collection. 12:30 p.m. 12:30 p.m. regroup for lunch. Regroup for lunch. Meaning you are in different groups now, you come together. Regroup for lunch. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Continue with data collection. Continue with data collection. 3:30 p.m. 3:30 p.m. Report back to the farm authority. Report back to the farm authority. 4 p.m. Depart for school. 4 p.m. Depart for school. 4:20 p.m. Report back to school. 4 p.m. I've said depart for school. 4:20 we are already in school. It was a nearby area, so we are reporting back to school.
Can you repeat 8 a.m.?
Tuko pamoja?
Yes.
Nyinyi? Tuko pamoja?
Yes.
Aya, number 9. I told you there are 9. Number 9. Selection of important tools. Selection of important tools. Selection of important tools. Necessary tools or equipment to be sorted out at this stage. Necessary tools, equipment to be sorted out at this stage. These are the maps, topographical route maps, tape measures. Now, there are very many here. Let's put them down, but it will be upon one to decide on which one according to the theme of study. So the maps I've said topographical route maps, tape measures, rulers, pencils, notebooks, geological hammers, hose, polythene bags, cameras, tables, sketch maps, etc. There are many. Repeating, one would require what is necessary for a given theme. So these are the 9 things that we need to have when we are preparing for a field study. And work schedule, we have why it is important. Reconnaissance, we have why it is also important. So we must know all those as we prepare. Remember, field work is both in paper 1 and paper 2. We need to be very, very careful about it, not to forget it at all. The 10th one now is carrying out the field study. Carrying out the field study. Enda huko wewe mtu mbaya. Carrying out the actual field study. After all the preparations that we've gone through, then we set into the field for the study. And we must have ourselves guided by the work schedule as we go into the field for the actual study to get the accurate data. We must have in mind the methods of data collection that we need to employ, the methods of collecting data, very, very important. And such methods should be cheap and time-saving. We don't need the complicated methods for field research. For us, it's just a field study. We need to have cheap and time-saving. From there, we can now have ourselves answer a few questions. Book 1. But the next area that we will follow is not even follow-up activities. We will go for methods of data collection. Methods of data collection. There are quite a number. I would like us to go into details: data collection, data recording, analysis, then follow-up activities will come, then problems. After doing that, when we are going to revisit or to revise statistics, we will not go into details on the same. So very first, let's answer these questions. Or we rack our minds. Okay. We are carrying out a study of a local weather station. Carrying out study of a local weather station. Number 1, identify a suitable weather station, either in your school or within a nearby locality. Identify a suitable weather station either in your school or within nearby locality. So I need answers from you as we move on. Answers from you as we move on. Our school is 1. I've given that. Which other area? Which other area apart from our school? Wecheje umeona moja. Identify a suitable weather station. Umeona weather station Wecheje? Huh? Along the way from Muranga to Mangu. Nani ameiona? Around Kenol. Is it Kenol or hapa kwa Saiso linaitwa nini? Watu wanatoka huko. Kuna moja ukitoka hiyo side ya Muranga, it is on your right. Inaitwa? Yaani vile nawaona hapa hakuna wenye wanatoka huko. Iko karibu sana na barabara.
Robinson.
Robinson anatoka huko. Aya, semeni the one in Nairobi ni gani? We are identifying. The headquarter one in Nairobi?
Dagoretti.
Dagoretti, thank you. And do you know the spelling of Dagoretti?
Yes.
Dagoretti. Is it double T?
Yes.
Sawa sawa. We've identified that. Our next question. What elements of weather would you like to study as we go to Dagoretti? Which elements of weather would we want to study? Eric Mwendwa.
Humidity.
Humidity, correct. Somebody else?
Temperature.
Vincent. Muli.
Yes.
Temperature.
Temperature, correct. Edwin. Elements of weather as we go to this weather station, which ones would we like to study? Isaac.
Atmospheric pressure.
Pressure, good. Somebody else, hata kabla nitaje. Mutu, Austin.
Rainfall.
Austin leo, eh? Austin.
Humidity.
Elements of weather. We are not limited, we are just on elements of weather. And there are 7. Nimepata 3 only.
Rainfall.
Humidity.
Rainfall is very specific. Hiyo ingine inaitwa nini? Rainfall is very specific.
Precipitation.
The umbrella is
Precipitation.
called precipitation. Thank you. Those are only 4.
Wind.
Wind, correct.
Sunshine.
Correct.
Thinking emotion again.
Ya mwisho. Cloud cover. Cloud cover si iko hapo?
Yes.
Yes, it is
Cloud
there.
cover. Aya. Number 3. Number 3. Write down the objectives of your study. 3. Write down the objectives of your study. We are going to a weather station. Whether Dagoretti or in our school. No, Dagoretti. In our school is the modern one. We will not have same details that we need. So objectives. Somebody. Ukistay tuwe mwenyewe, you will be better off. I'm reminding you to find out, to identify, to establish, to investigate. But we use identify commonly and finding out mainly, but we can establish something. Somebody.
Measure the amount of rainfall experienced in a place, received in a place.
Ebu sema vizuri. You've not started well.
To measure the amount of rainfall received in a place.
No, it can't be that way. Already I've said we must use just the 4 words. It is an objective. What are we going to do? To find out, to identify, to establish, to investigate. Not to measure, no.
Yes.
So reframe that.
To identify the amount of rainfall received in a place.
In a place after what duration? You must be very specific.
Daily.
Daily. That's okay. That's okay. To identify or to find out? It should be to find out.
Yes, to find out.
Yes, not identifying. To find out the amount of rainfall. Whoa. In a day. That's okay. Another person, when we try, we'll get it right. We will not struggle next time. We will not struggle. Francis, Mulwa.
Yes.
Yani Mulwa, you are just here. Umekimya tu.
Ako tu.
Ako tu. Haya, ajaribu.
To find out the daily cloud cover of an area.
To find out the types of cloud.
The daily.
Types. Hiyo ni kali. Yo, it's not very possible. To find out
the amount of daily cloud cover of an area.
yeah, the extent is okay. Another person, what can we establish? What can we identify? There are many things that can be identified there.
To establish the average wind speeds that an area can receive in a day.
Pardon?
To identify the average wind speed that an area can receive in a day.
Identifying the average speed of wind.
Yeah.
Sawa. The last one, we need at least 4.
Excuse me, Chair.
Yes.
Can we say to investigate the highest temperatures of a place?
Of a place or of
Yes.
Dagoretti.
Yeah, of the area.
Place. Yeah. The old one would only get of that very place, but this other one will give us temperatures all over. The new one that we have in school. So we must, because of passing exams, we'll use the old method. So temperature, the highest temperature in Dagoretti. That's okay. Objectives. We are moving to the next one, number 4 of our question. Formulate at least 2 hypotheses for your study. Because Mulwa was just silent, Mulwa, repeat for us the types of hypotheses. Mulwa.
Yes.
Repeat. Types of hypotheses. Ai, Mulwa. Mulwa ulienda? When you were talking about them. Na ukarudi?
I didn't write them down.
Kwani? Kwa akili? If you did not write them down, then ziko kwa akili.
No.
Aya. Victor, saidia huyo. Saidia huyo.
Null hypothesis.
Null hypothesis. Correct. Na hiyo ingine?
Alternative.
Alternative or substantive, which is positive hypothesis. That's okay. So let us formulate at least 2 hypotheses for the study. Our study is on Dagoretti weather station. We have objectives, and we should remember that the hypothesis should not be obvious, should have an element of yes or no. Should be quantified. Most, majority, not many, not few, and should have some of these objectives. Haya, tujaribu. 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 Hypothesis. Hypothesis. Juru. Juru.
Yes.
Sema. Hypothesis.
One can be the average temperature in the area of study is 21 degrees Celsius per day.
The average
Yes.
temperature is
The average
21.
degrees Celsius per day.
No. No. Somebody to try. Mwingine?
Anything else that probably can be included in that examples? Anything else you can include in that example?
Most days are hot. That's okay. Most days are hot. Somebody to use majority, somebody to use something else. I've given you one, but his did not start well. The average temperature is 21 degrees Celsius per day. No.
Checking
At least 2 hypotheses, whether null or positive.
Checking we say that since average wind speeds are low, most of the days are calm.
Pardon.
Most of the days are calm.
Oh, okay, most of the days are calm. That's okay.
Excuse me.
Hypothesis imetushinda.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Can we say the major precipitation received is rainfall?
Yes, the major precipitation received in the area is rainfall. That's quite okay. That's okay.
Kama unaendelea na class tu, don't bring for me hiyo song.
Kakata tunamta iwe.
Wewe mtu. We are continuing with the class. Wachana na hiyo yako. Major precipitation received is mainly rainfall. Major is rainfall. That's okay. Tukitoka hapa, let's do a lot of practice on hypothesis because that's what is letting you down. Hypothesis. Number 5, write down the things you do as part of your preparation for the study. Good. Tunaishia hapo sasa. That's what we are doing. Leo. Write down the things you do as part of your preparation for this study. There were 9 before actual field study.
Reconnaissance.
Prepare work schedule. Tracking our work schedule.
Faster, msiangalie.
Seeking permission.
Grouping yourself.
Permission, yes.
Preparation.
We are on preparation for the field study.
Grouping yourself.
Grouping, yes.
Formulating a work schedule.
Those are only 3. Schedule, yes. Work schedule. 4.
Preparation of a questionnaire.
Questionnaire, 5.
Doing some research.
Yeah. The secondary data. Reading from relevant books. Seventh one, we are almost there.
Select important tools.
Very good. Selection of important tools. 8.
Seeking permission.
2 more.
Seeking permission.
Yes?
Seeking permission.
Permission was our second one.
Preparation.
Preparation of documents. Of documents. The last one. The last one.
Holding discussions.
Holding discussions in class. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Now our time is over. So we will continue with the last bit. We have one lesson next week to malize it completely. Then we'll ask ourselves a few questions on field work. I'll do that through your class walls. Questions on field work. Sawa?
Yes.
Sawa,
Yes.
sawa. Thank you so much
Yes.
for attending. I hope
Bye.
we reminded ourselves kidogo.
Yes.
Sawa, sawa.
Thank you for teaching us.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Osh.
Goodbye. Keep safe.
Keep safe.
Yeah.
Same.
Bye.
See you then.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Wait on back, man.
Thank you.
Be blessed.
Amen.
Lord.
And you too.
Nyamaza.
Thank you.